which is interesting because, like, thinking about it, like British, like I don't even begin to understand their class system, but it's very rigid. So like they were probably like, wait, there's like they can't just marry just marry any woman. It has to be a suitable woman to produce a suitable heir to pass on all their money to. So that would have been, like in hindsight, a very like huge problem for, I guess, the landowning class.
Not to mention that there were only one woman per
Yeah.
10 men. So you don't have a 10% shot at mating with a woman, and then she mating with those other than Brits.
Yeah.
That's an issue. Someone else. Yes.
Just to kind of add on to that, Ely and I were talking about that law as well. And we were talking about Bacon's Rebellion and how it like fit into our prior understanding of like how supremacy functions, specifically like through capitalism. But then we were talking about how this marriage law you kind of see in legal terms, like in the law, like the marriage between patriarchy and capitalism. See what I did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You use marriage twice.
I used marriage.
Yeah.
That's very poetic. Yes.
Yeah, so that was interesting that the first law, where we have reference to whiteness, is in reference to the threat to white masculinity.
Economic example.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right there.
Did anything surprise you about pre-white colonial America? Yes.
Yeah, when I was reading through the rights of free African descent, that they could vote, own property, run for public office, testify in court, and own slaves, and among other things. But I thought like it was particularly of interest to own slaves. Like, it makes me kind of like wonder like were there other Africans that there were slaves, or were there others?
Yes.
Another race. But thinking about that is. It kind of, like, given the history, like, I didn't know anything before, like, African slaves. Like, I didn't know where the term whiteness came from. I didn't think about it, like, before then or even, like, further. And, like, reading that, I was kind of like, oh, really? So, it just makes me question a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, because the original, in 1619, it wasn't it hadn't developed into the slavery that we are familiar with. It was more like an indentured servitude. And usually, and there was no difference among the Africans and other Europeans who were laborers as well. That was like a 7 to 10 year contract. And once you completed that contract, you will be then free. Or if you earned enough money to buy that contract, you were then free. So with many of the Africans at that time who were either able to free themselves because they completed the duration of the contract or bought it, then they were free. And as it mentioned, they were able to vote, own property. There was no stigma associated with their skin color prior to whiteness. Because at the instant when whiteness was created, what was instantly created at the same time? Blackness. Their dichotomy, if white became the top tier in the the newly created American caste system, then blackness was, and also Native people were automatically subjugated to the lower caste. Yes.
Something I just kind of noticed, I'd underline it, but I looked back, talking about the after Bacon's Rebellion, like what impression that had made on people and the system of capitalism that they were fostering, one dependent upon unpaid and underpaid labor. That's like right now. Like our system of capitalism is dependent on enormous amounts of underpaid labor. And I think that there's also another similarity happening right now of this, like, dividing the underclass. That is literally the strategy of our current president.
Yes, indeed. Great. I'm hearing these connections to contemporary society, and it makes you like, wow, things change form, but they haven't really changed in a lot of ways. Because you have a situation where Trump, who's a billionaire, then you have the poor European descent people of middle America identify with this billionaire as if they have something in common. And they ride for him, and they have nothing in common with him whatsoever, other than they share a similar skin tone. And that was the co-opting that the elite played with the poor Europeans of descent. It's like we created this white club. Now you are a member. You're with us now, and you're superior to the Africans as well as the natives.